Alright folks, as per usual with each new comment test, new hidden vehicles, and 3D styles. So let's get started with the BZ-74-1, the Bastard Patton, elongated Patton chassis with a modified turret, supposed to be a 130, at least on the Russian server at tier 10, now at tier 8 for the other servers. It is competing against the Model 6, released this morning for the Lunar New Year boxes, as well as BZ-176 and a bunch of other Chinese heavy tanks at tier 8, but this thing could easily be at tier 9. It was at tier 10. So very nice looking of a bastardized hybrid of a Patton in a sense, but supposed to be gun depression as well. Not normal for Chinese vehicles usually, but this vehicle has 122 compared to a 130 on the Russian server. It is the same model. They have it for assembly shop, but the gun model is the same caliber, so arbitrary stats, but they have a camouflage net for the actual style. It is not as grandiose as our assembly shop 3D style, right? So just a bunch of camouflage nets and vegetation, and that is it. So visually it's the same vehicle, but 122 DPM is average at this point, 1900. Accuracy, aim time about average. 9 degrees gun depression, takes about 13 seconds or 12.5 with a rammer, so kinda long, but 420 alpha and 223mm of pin, and 270 supposed to be high explosive anti-tank. But let's see the shell velocity on the rounds. It's AP 930 meters per second, not the fastest. Yeah, high explosive anti-tank at the same velocity. High explosive is high explosive, that's fine. I mean 61, you're not destroying anything crazy. So pretty average of a gun, right? But how good is the actual armor? 1500 health, about average. Let's see the actual armor. Cupola weak spot on the front, as expected, 120. Turret cheeks about 250-ish. Effective 230-ish. It's not as crazy, but top of the gun with the mantlet, 700. Auto bounce zones on the sides. Yeah, the mantlet is strong, but otherwise, gold shell will possibly go through the cheeks on the turret front. So definitely not as strong as the VZ-51 turret on the Model 6. Compare this to the Russian server, obviously not the case. Not the same case, it's 285 on the turret front. Yeah, still the cupola weak spot, but 140 for the cupola. It's 285 at about 350mm effective. Definitely not as strong as the tier 10 version. Yeah, it's definitely missing like 85mm sloped additional for the front. Hull front 180. It is rounded, but about 200mm effective. 140 for the bottom plate. There are troll areas between the top and bottom plates, but yeah, the beak is okay. You'll still get pinned compared to 230 rounded and 180 rounded for the bottom plate. Yeah, the armor is definitely not as strong as the tier 10, but side armor is somewhat U-shape with the Patton chassis. It is 70 for the tracks and 20mm with the tracks, so it could somewhat side scrape, but not too much unless they shoot the U-shape of the hull. Otherwise it's only 55, so it's still more of a medium tank. Plate at the front, go hull down. Yeah, the armor is definitely not too crazy. 15.5 horsepower per ton ratio, weighs about 60 tons, 50 kilometers per hour top speed. So they nerfed the Model 6 mobility and give it to this vehicle. Funny enough. But this thing on the Russian server has about the same, funny enough. Oh, 48. 16 going backwards with 15.5. That is very close, but slightly better top speed on our version. 35 for hull traverse compared to 34, about the same. So mobility is about the same as the tier 10, but you have very much less armor, and therefore plays like a medium tank. At this point, about 6% camo, and 370 meters of view range. Below average radio too. I don't know, I mean all the mobility of the Model 6 went to this vehicle practically. But this thing doesn't have the gun or the turret of the BZ-74-1. So it doesn't have the DPM, doesn't have... Well, it has more alpha, but it doesn't have the strong cupola. Lack of a cupola on the BZ-74-1. Also, the hull armor is also better, technically, on the 111 chassis. Slightly. Especially for the hull sides. But, it's okay. It's not as crazy as before. It would be crazy if this thing had a 130 at tier 8, but then again, devastate tier 6s. What, like 440 alpha? 490 alpha? That would be crazy against a tier 6, but it's okay. It's fine. I still think the Model 6 will be a little bit better, but this thing plays like a medium tank. It's a large, chunky of a medium heavy. Not exactly an actual heavy. A171 IMT. Improved medium tank. Ooh. Kind of feels like a sort of a mix of a Pershing hull front with aspects of a related to a T37 light tank design on the turret, except better armored. The rear looks more like a Concept 1B, but not elevated for the engine deck. It is very wide in the tracks. Holy crap, that is a thick track width. So not a bad looking medium tank, and we do need a revitalization of old tier 8 mediums for the Americans, like the Patton KR, the T25 Pilot. Those things needs a buff. Definitely needs a buff. This thing has a larger caliber gun. It's a 105. It's a 105 at tier 8 for a medium. So DPM is not too crazy, 1800 as well, but aim time is faster than the BZ. Accuracy 0.35, 10 degrees gun depression, 20 elevation. It is 210 millimeters of pen and 360 alpha. So packs a little bit more punch than the standard 90 millimeter or so on the Patton KR or the T25 Pilot. But how good is the actual armor? Not that great. 1350 health, I mean average for a medium tank at tier 8, but turret front kind of like a M47 ish. It's more trapezoidal than triangular, but the mantlet could only eat the shot most of the time on the sides, not in the middle. It's 200 in the middle, and the rest is only 25. Oh no! That's for the roof, but still, it's 63 for the cupola. It's 120 for the cheeks on the hull, on the turret, and the hull is 100. Bottom plays at better angle, so shoot the upper plate, you'll pin. But it's more like a sniper in a sense. It is versatile, but leaning towards sniping. Side scraping with 25, you're not going to do squat. Yeah, overmatch automatically. 76 between the tracks. Yeah, you'll overmatch the sloping on the side armor automatically, so 25 doesn't matter. Large caliber guns eat right through. You're not supposed to side scrape. The sponsons, the ears for the machine gun is also weak spots on the turret sides. I don't think that applies to the T37 light tank, but then again, it doesn't have armor whatsoever. But that is a hitbox. So you're not supposed to engage directly. You're supposed to take pot shots, support, have a heavy tank or tank destroyer take all the hits. Yeah, this thing doesn't have really much that armor. Yeah, 22 for the engine deck. There's no armor on this thing. Not really. Other than the mantlet that could eat some of the shots, but not really. Mobility wise, about 19 horsepower per ton ratio and 50 km/h top speed, 20 in reverse. It is more like a sniper medium tank. You're playing this thing with other armored medium tanks like a Super Pershing, and you're just helping out with the other mediums. Camo, not bad. 16% for American. That is pretty rare. The Pershing is like 11 or 12 at best. So, not a bad camo. It's on par with Russian camo, but this thing is taller than Russian vehicles. And 390 meters of view range. Radio standard. It's okay. It's about the alpha damage punch, but this thing doesn't have the turret armor or the hull armor. So it's like having the 121 or 122 TM gun, except you have a little bit more DPM at the cost of the alpha damage. And you don't have the armor to back it up, right? But you do have the mobility. It still feels fine, but not too crazy. It feels like a 5, possibly, right? Maybe 5.5, but not too crazy. Alright, moving on. The CS-53 with the 56 TP turret stuck on top. Different model for the chassis. Like I said, rubber guards or mud guards for the sides and hull front. It is the large caliber 122, or supposedly the heavy tank, onto a medium tank chassis, but the turret is pretty big for this chassis, even though the chassis is already wide enough. So large turret on a medium tank chassis with a large caliber gun, plays like a T34-3 or WZ-122TM at tier 8. So if you like those vehicles, then this will feel right at home. The 𝗩𝗶𝗃𝗱𝗱𝗀𝗃 is mounted a little bit differently compared to the 56 TP, slightly. 122, about the same DPM ballpark as with the improved medium tank. A little bit longer to aim, a little bit less accuracy, less accurate. 8 degrees gun compression, 221 millimeters of pen. Gold shell, yeah, okay. It is 390 alpha, but how good is the armor to hold up, right? 1300 health. Turret front, the same as with the 60 TP, 200 on the mantlet. Yeah, stuff will go through the mantlet, but if the shot miss, it could bounce off of the cheeks or the top parts of the turret. There are weird strips of only 50 or 0. Where the hell is this little area? The green area. That's likely the rangefinders. The rangefinders are not exactly a weak spot. Well, it's still technically somewhat of a weak spot. Alright, shoot the cupola. 100. Upper plate. Yeah, no. 55? It's not even 80. It's 80 on the bottom. Or 80 on the middle. It's not even totally 80 like with the T44. It's only 65. You'll jam it through the upper plate. It's only about the turret. Side armor is 60. No space armor. It's a big ass turret, but the hull front seems really weak. Right? The hull front, I mean, 80 is not that sufficient for a medium tank, but at least it could deflect some shells. 60 or 55 is not going to do squat. You can penetrate this thing with a tier 6. Regular shells, like a easy 8. Easy go through the upper plate on this vehicle. That is surprising. Only 80 at the hull front. Alright. Mobility wise, 17.3 horsepower per ton ratio, 50 km/h top speed, 16 reverse. So about the same mobility. A little bit less mobile as with the improved medium tank, but you have a little bit more of a punch per shot. It plays about the same practically. So you could take a little bit more hits with the turret, but don't rely on it. Camo about the same as well. View range close enough. Also below average radio for some reason. So it feels like about the same ballpark as with the A171, the improved medium tank of a playstyle, where this vehicle does have a little bit more turret armor, but don't rely on it. And finally, TS-6 Tier 9 Premium American heavy tank. Not to be confused with the TS-60, but looks like a larger, somewhat of a AE Phase 1 turret, right? Just bulk a lot into the back end and into the middle for the flat turret. But hull kind of looks like a Yo tank, or more or less like a 𝗶𝗶𝗃𝗱𝗲𝗀𝗀. It's chunky, it's a large bulbous of a turret design. I forgot the caliber of the gun. It's a 120 supposed to be. But visually it's okay. It's not the prettiest of heavy tanks, and you do expose the elevated engine deck when your hull side scraping in a side, but exposing the side of your armor. Yeah, your engine deck is elevated, and shoot that area of the actual hull. 120. Let's see. 2,100 DPM. Accuracy, aim time, average. 10 degrees gun compression, 252 millimeters of pin, 460 alpha. So beating out the T54 Heavy for top 120 millimeter alpha damage of a ally vehicle at tier 9. So it's about a little bit more close to a 130 millimeter or 128 on a tank destroyer for German or something. But alright. I mean, it's a big caliber gun, but there are lots of weak spots for this vehicle as well. 1800 health. Okay for a tier 9, not the craziest. Craziest is about 2000 health for a tier 9 heavy. But 𝗶𝗶𝗃𝗱𝗀𝗀, 140. It is rounded at the sides, so bad shots. But this vehicle is also kind of tall, so face hugging with a lower, shorter vehicle and shooting the 𝗶𝗶𝗃𝗱𝗀𝗀 is more difficult, right? Because you're lower and you're just shooting upwards. The same concept with the M6 Mutant. The turret front, sloped, rounded, 200 millimeter. So pretty decent. Hull front, 145 at about 200 millimeters effective. Oh god, it's all the same armor. All about 200 millimeter effective. Lower plate at this angle, better shoot the upper plate, but still. Possible shot trap to the middle of the turret ring. It's only 220. Still. Yeah, side armor. It's 76 with 20 millimeter track. Is it U-shape? It's slightly on the tracks, but not exactly all U-shape. It's just flat. Yeah, it's just flat for the side armor. There is a little bit strip of a V-shape right here, but otherwise, yeah, don't overcommit to side scraping. They can shoot the turret ring, which is only 155 at about 200 millimeter effective. Shoot the back end on the engine deck. The above engine deck is only 25, so yeah, that's exposed when you're side scraping too. Yeah, armor is not too crazy. Does this thing have like 15 horsepower per ton ratio? No, 12.5 with only 30 kilometers per hour top speed. It's not the fastest. Definitely not the fastest. With that mobility, you would expect the upper plate to be about 250, right? Or at least 220, 230. But no, it's only 200 on the upper plate. Upper plates suck. Let's see, upper plate really does feel not that great. Yeah, 200. Yeah, upper plate should be about 250 or 230 millimeter at least effective. This upper plate doesn't. It's like a tier 8 upper plate too. Camo 7% for some reason. For such a tall, large vehicle, 7%? That is crazy. That should be like 3% or 2%. Surprising camo is surprising for some reason. And 380 meters of view range, even though it's a tall vehicle, supposed to see a little bit further. But yeah, view range is a little bit shot out of a premium tier 9 heavy. But I think the T54 Heavy might be a little bit better candidate for a premium tier 9. It's not that good, but compare this with the T54 Heavy, it's about the same ballpark, right? You have a bigger punch, but the hull armor just suck, and the mobility is not the greatest. So it's not that fast too. It's also like a 5. It's average. Surprising alpha damage, but that's it. So only 4 new premium tanks, or hidden premium tanks, all premium. But 3 new styles for the upcoming Battle Pass. E50M. It is very nice. Very, very nice. This is like a 9. No question. I mean, jungle aesthetics. This is even better than the Russian server assembly shop 3D style. And we can get it for free. So, yeah, let them cook. Let them cook. This one's good. This one's very good. Along with the Type 71 and the NC70, the Blyskawica. But yeah, let them cook. This is a very good looking style. Type 71, also very nice. The Russian server already have it for last year's Battle Pass, but they got a Waffentrigger-esque of a style. This one's definitely better than that one. So, also jungle aesthetics. Possibly learning from the Rambo collaboration, right? Just reuse the assets of the jungle leaves and the camouflage nets from Rambo, and there you go. I mean, I don't complain it. I'm not complaining. That's very good. Take all the aspects and aspirations and inspirations you want, but yeah, very nice too. So this will mean the Type 71 and the NC70 line will be on discount, so you can buy it for like 30% off with the tier 10s and the tier 9s, but very nice looking style. And the NC70 Blyskawica. So recent vehicles, but these vehicles don't have the 3D styles yet, other than the E50M. Also, the E50M has like technically 4 3D styles now. So 4 skins. 4 skins. But they have the E50 is 2 remnant style from Mirror 13, so 2 zombie style technically, and 1 black market skin. So now with a battle pass skin, there's 4 skins for the E50M, but I'm not complaining too. The Leopard 1 has like also 4 skins or something like that too. But new style for vehicles that recently introduced. Technically, the Type 71 was it last year with the Japanese Heavy? I think it was last year. Same goes with the Blyskawica. Yeah, we're just missing the tier 10 Czech light tank and some other older vehicles like the T92 howitzer motor carriage, or the WZ-131-1, or the 113 GFT. So those don't have a skin. The 𝗲𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗀 doesn't have a skin. Why the hell do you give a style for the T71 when the 𝗲𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗲𝗀 came out before? Oh no! Yeah, the 𝗲𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗀𝗀 came out 2 years ago. At least 1.5 years ago, but the 𝗲𝗲𝗵𝗶𝗱𝗀𝗀 doesn't have a style. Oh no! Oh no! And the older vehicles, like, nobody cares about the 113 GFT. No, nobody cares. I would like a style for the 114 SP2. They're not going to give us style for... Are they? But there you go, folks. New styles and new hidden vehicles on the common test. So, yeah. Battle Pass stuff. Placeholder. Well, fine. Placeholder. Fine. But let them cook. Elite Circuit. Complete all main chapters to unlock Elite Circuit, or Prestige, if you will. Play enough COD, where you can earn more bonds and vouchers as rewards. Progression is cyclical, meaning you can complete as many times as you want until the end of Battle Pass season, so infinite. Vouchers. Earned... What the hell does vouchers give me? Token tanks? The 265T or the ERAC 105 Proto? Events to the Battle Pass and chips. Vault section, so they're redoing Battle Pass stuff. I guess that's fine, right? Spice up the oldness. Become stale after a while. Yeah, the 3 new Battle Pass vehicles. E50M, Blyskawica, the Type 71. Also, what's funny is this guy, look like 𝗩𝗶𝗵𝗱𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 say goodbye to your Nazi balls, right? Or BJ Blyskawica from Castle. Oh, about to say Castlevania. Return to Castle Wolfenstein, but yeah, 𝗩𝗶𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is interesting with the vouchers. What the hell can we get out of the vouchers? I have no idea. They don't tell me. But looking at the main website, so they don't explain the stuff that well. Watt Plus gets an update. Legendary loadout reports that. What? Whatever, that doesn't matter. I don't care. You can choose your own equipment. Don't listen to the crowd. Play your own vehicle, right? Battle Passport, Section 4 Battle Pass points. Post Progression Elite Circuit, Prestige. Just call it Prestige. Item vouchers. No idea what the hell. You can scratch off like a lottery ticket. What? Yeah, the two new vehicle is very much likely to be the 265T and the ERAC 105. Steel Hunter, Shamrock. Loot box again for the next month with St. Patrick's Day. Coming right after the Lunar New Year with St. Patrick's Day loot box. So let's see if we can find the voucher stuff in the shop menu, but I doubt it. They don't fully commit to the stuff. Ooh. Items for tokens. Continue purchasing. Yeah, they don't show you the actual token tanks for this year, so these are placeholders, but it's supposed to be the 265T, which we already covered, and the ERAC 105, which we already covered. But Battle Pass Vault, what the hell is this thing? Chips or gold. You can earn chips with the actual progression after you finish, but oh, just old styles and old crew member you missed out. So it's like the old Battle Pass. Chips is basically the same Battle Pass points. So yeah, it's the same thing, just rebranded. With buying of the old style if you missed it from years past. Other than the Warhammer stuff. That is locked behind copyright. Yeah, just old crew members. You can use gold to buy them. Or the points. Which is interesting. This one is not available from the actual... This one's the shop. You can actually pay money to get this person. These are just regular people from the Battle Pass. This one's from the shop too. April O'Neil. O'Real? Alright, fine. And what the hell is vouchers? Yeah, okay. I can earn voucher. What's inside? 100% free XP, components, or credits. They'll probably update the vouchers at the end with more stuff, but these are just whatever. Put a premium tag in here and people will go, very nice. But normally this is just whatever. So these are just random loot box again, but you can get them for free from playing the Battle Pass. That's interesting. So yeah, they're really redoing the reward system on the vouchers and the final point system with the chips after you finish Battle Pass. So they're kind of revamping Battle Pass, which is a nice touch, right? It gets stale after like 2 or 3 years of the same Battle Pass format, but yeah, that's fine. Well, there you go, folks. We've been talking about the common test for a while, so 3D styles are pretty good, very good, and the vehicles are more or less whatever, right? You can't miss out. So none of them are too crazy. Play the Battle Pass, you get the very nice looking styles, but the premium tanks are all whatever. Okay, it's about a 5-ish, so nothing too crazy, and all of them have defects or downsides, like dramatically. So yeah, not too crazy. They're not going to do stuff like the BZ-176 anymore. They learned their lesson, and there's so many loopholes or so many jumps and hurdles to go through with stuff like the BZ-176 because you spend money to get it, and it's a random chance, and it's a premium tank. So many hurdles to overcome the nerfing of this vehicle. They cannot just rightly do so. Otherwise, yeah, complaining, legal issues, yada yada, whatever. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.